Okay. Okay, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're going to replace some of the plastics I used the other night, some craws and some swim baits. So we're going to do a couple remelts, basically some colors I had already mixed up with some used plastics, and then I'm going to do a cup of new plastic or new color June bug, just because I don't have that made up. I have green pumpkin purple, I have a brown candy, if you will, and I have a black and blue already made up. So we're going to make some baits in some remelt colors, at least one remelt color, and then we're going to also use a new cup of plastic and make some June bugs. So here we go. So I would say 30 to 45 seconds with that. 1 cup of plastic. And good old black and blue. Then we're going to make the June bug with LureWorks June Bug 201. A little bit of LureWorks purple and green flake. These are some Amazon powder colors. There's a blue which is called Deep Sea, Roleo, and Roleo Rosewood. I'm not sponsored by any of these LureWorks, the Roleo, anything. I'm not sponsored by any of this stuff. I just I got started, and this was a cheap way to get started. So if you like it, I can give you links. Just comment below. So once you got that out, you're gonna stir it. As always, wear your respirator, wear your gloves. Don't do what I do. While we're doing that, so we're not wasting too much time, I'm going to oil all of my molds. With the little LureWorks worm oil, I just put a little dab on this little paintbrush. I've got one dedicated paintbrush for just my worm oil for the molds. If it gets dry, put another little dab on there, drop on there, keep going. Basically the worm oil is going to allow it to shoot a little bit better, more even. It is also going to allow it to come out a little more even. It is also going to give it a shiny texture, which is, I don't think I got that one, which is good. But like these paddle tails in there, if you don't oil that can get stuck in there, and then you'll just lose a bait, have to remelt it. There we go. I think we're good. I'll show you guys this real quick. See how crystal clear that is? There's one blue fleck in there, probably from the last time. We're still only at 329, 336. So we're gonna go another 15 seconds. Getting close. The reason you get to that 350 is basically that is the chemical point where it has done what it needs to do. It is turned into plastisol that's pourable, it's moldable. So just the first time you have to get to 350. After that it can be less. Alright, so ultimately, June bug is purple, right? And purple is made by red and blue. So, if you think it's too blue, add more red. If you think it's too red, add more blue. You're still going to end up with some form of purple, some form of June bug, which is, June bug in essence is purple with green and blue, or green and purple flake, green and blue flake. It all depends on taste. These are not for sale. These are for me. So I don't really care too much. Yeah, they're gonna be pretty to my eye, what I like, but we're gonna do a video on color at one point in time. But I don't necessarily think that the color, it's the least important in my mind. Color, I think the action, the size of the bait makes a lot more difference, if you will. This is a pretty cool color. Pretty neat. A little bit red, which I don't know if I mind, but I am going to add a little bit of blue. See if I can make a little bit more blue. Recent video I watched, me and my father-in-law watched about color, states, and I've read articles on this that bass only see green or only have green and red cones in their eyes, and a fellow YouTuber did a video on that, and it was extremely interesting. We're just gonna put some in. Whatever looks good to your eye. Sounds like something Bob Ross would say. Whatever looks good at your eye. And you'll notice I don't shoot the temperature after the first time. I just go by consistency after that. If I haven't melted, or if I haven't done the muffin top thing, then we're good. I should have added a little bit of this while the microwave was going. I just throw a little dab of that worm oil, same worm oil we greased up the molds with. Put it in the bottom. Attach that. Pull it back and forth. That should slide very smooth, right? It shouldn't be all sticky. That's what we're going for. Draw up our plastic. And you can be kind of messy with this, because it cleans up pretty easy. You're gonna inject and then hold it for a second, and then top off the sprue and shoot the rest back in there. I like this color. It's a pretty cool purple. Purple, and it's pretty. Hopefully the fish think it's pretty too. And everything that didn't get into the mold goes right back into the mug, or into the Pyrex, and you're ready for the next one. I'm gonna unclamp these. Alright, that has had time to set up now. This is a clamshell out of a Rage Craw bag that I paid, I don't know, $8.99 for the plastic. This will hold my craw tails perfectly, because it's the same length, or very close to the same length as our Rage Craw. And that's our craw. It's a beautiful color. So I'm going to snip it off. Actually, I don't even have to snip it off. I just pulled it off. And we're just going to set it in there. Like so. Same thing with the other one. Beautiful. Pull that off. Set it in here. At which point these tails will, or these craws, will overlap. Alright, this is a little, I don't know, little handy dandy. It's two-sided. That side opens, this side opens. I was looking for a way to store my swim baits without bending the paddle tails. This is, I don't know, my wife got this off Temu. I think it was like 45 cents. And what I did, which is a very Youper thing of me to do, is I dremeled slots in here. You can see those slots. Those weren't in there. I dremeled slots on both sides where the tails are going to lay, so that the body lays there, the tail lays there, and it stays flat. Dries perfectly. No kinks, no bent tails in half, nothing. So that's what we're going to use to dry these. And that's how that comes out, with a bunch of extra flashing, right? Just pull it out. Pull the tail up. That's what you got at the start. Bunch of junk on there. We're going to peel all that off. I'll show you the finished product here. And as you can see, everything I'm doing goes right back in the cup. And there is our June bug paddle tail. And that is going to go right there. Peel this one off. You'll see the tail sticks on one side. That's when you got to kind of finesse it out of there. If you haven't let it set up long enough, you can mess up the whole pour. But pull that out, back in the cup, back in the cup, back in the cup, and back in the cup. And a couple little nubbies on the end. Also go back in the cup, and there's number 2. That's it. Rinse and repeat. Now we're going to do a black and blue, and we're going to take an old cup. This was a black and blue I used for something else. We're going to cut this up into little chunks, put it in a new cup, and melt it down. Do the same thing. So this is already plastic that was already made. This is still just like this. So this is the plastic that we just used. This was some form of something else that I did. This is going to be the same thing, only in black and blue. Trusty scissors, and we're going to start cutting away. They don't have to be super small chunks, but you want them into smaller chunks. So I'm going to cut this flashing off. That's pretty thin, so that's fine. And ultimately, it's just easier to melt down this way. These little pieces, that's fine like they were. That's got to be cleaned out. That's why we're using a different cup. You can rip them, cut them, rip and cut, rip and cut. Like if you were to buy cubed cheese, that's what you're thinking, but very disformed cubed cheese. So don't worry about it being perfect. You're just getting them into, instead of one solid mass, we're making it into littler masses. That's what you got. Bunch of little chunks. Start at 1 minute. Add, when you pull that out, it's probably still going to be solid chunks. You're going to add another minute, and then you're going to stir it as much as you can as you go. So we're going to start with 1 minute. At the end of 1 minute, still very chunky. Not even going to stir it yet. Another minute. So at the end of 2 minutes, you can see it's starting to become liquid. It's a good time to put your glove on and mix slowly. You can see I'm using the same knife. Normally I don't do that. I just added some of that June bug to black and blue. But black and blue being as dark as it is, that little smidge of purple is probably going to get lost in there. And if it doesn't, I don't care. Okay, so we're close. We're getting to where we can mix it. So maybe another 45 seconds. Draw up the black and blue. Move that out of the way. We're going to shoot these. Slow. Something's wrong. That got gunked up in a hurry. Let's try a different one. There we go. Slow and pressure. And we're only going to get one out of this. The other one, I'm not sure what happened there, but it did not want to go past the sprue. I don't think I went fast enough to get through the start. So hold some pressure there for a couple seconds. Top the sprue off. Move this one over. Inject. Hold the pressure. Actually, that came out just fine. I didn't think I had enough plastic in there, but that looks great. So we'll use it. That one has a bunch of junk, which is a-okay. I'd rather have more stuff in there than not enough where it doesn't fill everything. If you look at that very tippy top, you can see where that purple came through. Ironically, that's on some scrap, so it doesn't make it to the bait, but that's very funny. Alright, so actually, what am I doing? I might as well pull these out. Alright guys, that's it. You saw us remelt some plastics today, some colors that I already had made up. You saw us make a new pretty color. Happy with that June bug. I've been fishing for quite a while here, bass fishing now for 5 or 6 years, pretty hot and heavy, um, almost daily when I can. Ask my wife if you don't believe me. And what I found is I like certain things and I didn't like certain things. So that's why I got into making my own plastics, making my own jigs, making my own baits, ultimately. I used a dozen different things, a lot more than I use the majority of things. There's a lot of things out there that I've bought that I've wasted money on. Let us help you not waste money. If you want a certain plastic or you want a certain jig, send us an email at hogsnacksbait@gmail.com. We'll be happy to keep in touch with you. We'll make you what you want if we can. We're not going to do big, huge bulk orders, but we will do small batch orders. I spend way too much time on the lake to make huge bulk orders. If you want something for next year or 2 years from now, we can talk, but as far as that goes, otherwise, small orders. Thank you for watching. Please comment. I haven't seen many comments. I want to know what you guys think of these videos. Are you happy with what we're doing? Should we do something different? Any suggestions, positive or negative, are welcome. Haven't seen many comments. I want to communicate with you. That's what this channel is all about, is trying to get out to you guys, talk to you guys and gals about fishing and anything fishing. I can talk for hours. So send us an email, get a hold of us, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share it to a friend. Any of that stuff would be great. Huge help to the channel. Keep us doing this. Thank you.